White letters and a microphone appear atop gray clouds and a yellow sun. Sunstorm stories. Timothious TJ Gordon Jr., a genderqueer, cis male, black autistic person, appears on screen. Throughout this video, sports images and relevant public health facts will also appear.
Picture this scenario, folks. It's a very cloudy day. You can't go outside really except for exercise and getting essential needs, but not to hang out or whatnot due to the COVID-19 stay at home mandate. There's nothing to really watch as far as live sports because everything is canceled or postponed. But you can watch reruns of sporting events, or you could watch some marble racing. Yay! Yes, that was the time I was living in where I was bored out of my mind and I was missing my favorite thing about myself, sports and hanging out with the people I care about. I was very sad when sports was canceled. Very sad. Sports is my big part of my identity. I love sports because of the competitive nature, the reaction of the crowds, the reactions and camaraderie with not only the people you play with, but also the people you watch the game with. Even if they're not casual fans, it's just the social gathering that I like about sporting events. But thanks to COVID-19, that was taken away from me. And you can see by one of the videos, I was not pleased. I also wasn't pleased with the whole lockdown because that means I couldn't check in with my friends, my loved ones, in person. No get togethers. You see, as an African American, some parts of the black community rely on gatherings as a source of strength and healing. I know I'm one of those people who needs the occasional kickback to rejuvenate, to enjoy the things you enjoy, to enjoy the people you like being with. But everything was mostly virtual and it wasn't the same at all. And it got me depressed for a long time. It got to the point where I had to sometimes sneak to small gatherings just to feel I'm in community. But don't get me wrong, I found ways to entertain myself when I was alone. For instance, I started to make masks. I started to do more TikToks. I even did more live streaming of NHL 94. So I have found ways to do self care and explore new passions. But it wasn't the same without um, a live WrestleMania or a live NBA Finals viewing with friends and family. It just wasn't the same. To add to all of the things with the lack of social stuff, or limited some stuff that I could do. Summer 2020 happened. Boom. Where there's civil unrest everywhere in response to the police brutality that continuing to happen towards minorities, the marginalized, especially disabled BIPOC folks like George Floyd and many others. If public health officials just note that mental health in BIPOC communities are not of just mental health conditions within itself that could be treated by medicine and that's it. We must also understand how trauma and events such as the civil unrest in 2020 and COVID-19 affects the cultural and social aspects of certain communities. We must also offer treatments, interventions, and calming mechanisms that are not only scientifically proven, but also culturally um, acceptable and culturally affirming. So, for instance, when we address coping with trauma, medicine and talk therapy is great, but so is yoga, drumming, and other forms of joy and coping. They can be used to not only relieve stress, but also to come to terms with what's happening around us.
5 logos appear on screen. This initiative was brought to you by the National Disability Rights Network, Seated Ground, Foundations for Divergent Minds, the Johns Hopkins Disability Health Research Center, and funded by the With Foundation. For more information or to share your story for future editions of this project, visit us at ndrn.org.